cases of avian flu have been reported in North Jeolla Province at 2 separate poultry farms. Customers at Kookmin Bank and several other institutions are concerned over the leak of their personal information. Authorities are investigating. And a memorial hall dedicated to Korean independence activist An Jung-geun has opened in Harbin, China. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Monday, January 20th. I'm Luke Clary. A case of highly pathogenic avian influenza was reported in Gochang, North Jeolla Province last week. Another case of bird flu was detected in Buan, also in that province. No contact was reported between poultry farms in the two counties.
The Agriculture Ministry confirmed that ducks were infected by the highly pathogenic avian influenza at a farm in Buan, North Jeolla Province. The H5N8 strain of bird flu was found in the feces samples from ducks killed at the farm. It's the same as the ones found in a different duck farm in the Gochang area.
신고 자체가 하루 정도밖에 차이가 나지 않기 때문에 바이러스의 노출이 비슷한 시기에
So far, cases of the pathogenic avian influenza have been confirmed in Gochang and Buan of North Jeolla Province. The Buan farm is 10 kilometers north of the one in Gochang. No ducks, people, or vehicles traveled directly between them, so it is unlikely that the virus spread from farm to farm. It is important to note that both farms are located in a radius of 5 or 6 kilometers from a reservoir where migratory birds died. The Ministry of Agriculture later confirmed that the migratory birds died of the highly virulent H5N8 strain of the avian influenza. It is closely monitoring major migratory bird habitats in North and South Jeolla provinces, as well as banning people from visiting these places.
Financial authorities are investigating a leak of personal information of Kookmin Bank customers. It's been confirmed that personal information of customers at 16 other financial firms is also compromised.
Financial authorities launched an investigation into a leak of confidential information belonging to customers at Kookmin Bank. The customer information was first stolen from a number of credit card companies, and then it was leaked from most of the nation's commercial banks, since the credit cards are registered with the user's banking information. Some 24 million people are clients of Kookmin Card, Lotte Card, and Nonghyup Card. Therefore, most of the nation's economically active population have suffered from the information leaks. The heads of government financial watchdogs, the Financial Services Commissions, and the Financial Supervisory Service are among the victims. Investigators found that the client data of 16 other financial companies were also leaked. Authorities explain that the leaked data are the names and addresses of 650,000 customers at banks, savings banks, and capital companies.
2차 유출 여부는 아직 확인되지 않았습니다. 그리고 이로 인한 피해 사례도 아직까지는 접수되지 않았습니다.
Financial authorities are warning people against possible phone fraud scams in the wake of the recent information leaks.
President Park Geun-hye is now on the second leg of her overseas tour. She spent some time enjoying the cultural treasures of Switzerland while promoting cultural exchanges between the two countries.
This art center is dedicated to the renowned Swiss modern abstract artist Paul Klee. President Park Geun-hye attended an exhibition of his works in Bern. She appreciated Klee's works of art and the tools he used to make them. The president and Swiss artists watched a performance staged by the National Theatre of Korea at the art center. Entitled Korea Fantasy, the performance features traditional Korean dances such as Taepyeongmu, or the Dance of Peace, and a fan dance known as Buchechum. It has received rave reviews in Europe. Park says she hopes that Korea and Switzerland will draw closer to one another through diverse cultural exchanges.
또 문화만큼 그 세계인을 하나가 되게 만드는 것도 없다고 생각을 합니다.
Earlier, she met with Swiss officials that have had close ties with Korea. She expressed her gratitude to the officials who used to work in Korea for the neutral nation's Supervisory Commission and asked them to take interest in the reunification of the Korean peninsula. Pak also met with ethnic Koreans in Switzerland and encouraged them to continue working towards bolstering friendship between the two countries.
North Korea has ratcheted up its criticism of the joint ROK-U.S. Key Resolve military drill. Seoul will discuss its North Korea policies with high-ranking U.S. State Department officials visiting Korea this week.
North Korea blasted the United States for its plan to hold its annual joint military exercises with South Korea. The North delivered its message through the Nodong Shinmun, its main newspaper. The newspaper wrote that the Key Resolve and Doksuri exercises represent an open provocation against the North. The Nodong Shinmun added that if Washington ends up waging a nuclear war, the North will have no choice but to take stronger measures to protect itself. In response, Seoul and Washington have made it clear that the Key Resolve and Doksuri exercises are just training drills that are defensive in nature, adding that they will be held as scheduled this year as well. In Seoul, as part of his 5-day Asia tour, U.S. Deputy Secretary of State William Burns discussed the North Korea issue and the geopolitical situation in Northeast Asia with South Korean officials. U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of State Daniel Russell is scheduled to arrive in Seoul on January 26th. Sources say the U.S. government officials are visiting Seoul to discuss a range of North Korea issues, such as Pyongyang's reaction to Seoul's rejection of its proposal, as well as its reaction to the upcoming joint military exercises.
A memorial hall dedicated to Korean independence activist An Jung-geun has opened in Harbin, China, at the site where An shot Japanese Prime Minister Hirobumi Ito.
The memorial hall dedicated to An Jung-geun opened yesterday in the Harbin Station building without prior notice. One of the walls in the hall is decorated with a large clock set at 9:30 a.m., which is the time when a revolt took place 105 years ago. The 200-square-meter hall puts An Jung-geun's photos and materials on display covering his life. The hall provides explanations in Korean for Korean visitors. The hall can be accessed directly from the station plaza. After visitors pass through a corridor-like exhibition hall, they can see through a glass wall the platform where An assassinated the Japanese Prime Minister. A signboard on the platform reads, "The site where independence activist An Jung-geun shot Hirobumi Ito in 1909. The Chinese media covered the opening of the memorial hall in breaking news yesterday, calling An a hero. The memorial hall opened to the public today and is poised to become a famous historic site among both Koreans and Chinese.
More and more consumers are opting to buy their goods directly from foreign companies over the internet. The volume of direct overseas purchases is on the rise, but so are concerns over legal limits.
Cargo sent from the U.S. is moved to warehouses. The packages are categorized by size or type before they are delivered. The cargo is goods Korean customers bought directly from online shops overseas. Incheon Airport handled 10 million direct overseas purchases last year. That's up 40% from the previous year. Park Sang-ik shops online at foreign stores once or twice a month. He bought his headphones for a price that is 70% cheaper than domestic retail prices. He also directly purchased his clothes and his daughter's toys online from the shops overseas. The volume of direct overseas purchases have tripled over the past 3 years. However, some items, like toy guns, are banned from being imported. There is also a ceiling on the amount of nutritional supplements Korean customers can buy from overseas. Violations are not permitted to pass customs.
총 6병까지 지금 통관이 허용되고 있고 그 이후에는 의사소견서나 진단서 같은 게 첨부돼야 됩니다.
Customs officials warn that the customers have to pay duties if they purchase items worth more than $200.
Starting last year, dog registration was mandated for all canine pets. However, the registration program has stalled because registration chips are hard to come by.
This college student paid a visit to a veterinarian to register his dog. Animal clinics are supposed to have 3 types of identifications in store: internal and external chips and name tags. But this place only had the internal kind. The pet owner had no choice but to delay the dog's registration.
몸에 칩을 넣는 게 찝찝해서 외장형으로 하고 싶은데 그게 없다고 하니까 곤란해요.
According to a survey, 8 out of 20 vets in charge of registrations didn't have the proper ID recognition devices. Local city and county governments provided the necessary product, but this year the law was changed so that animal hospitals have to obtain the devices on their own. But very few vets are equipped to deal with these changes.
동물 병원마다 제품별로 좀 다 틀리고 이렇게 문제가 있다 보니까 1월 말 정도 되면은 이제 정상적으로.
At the end of last year, the government suddenly cut down the number of animals due for registration from 4 to 1.2 million. Also, authorities still haven't set up any penalty regulations for violations. Now, in its second year, this new system for pets still calls for much fine-tuning.
Freezing winds pelt the Jungnyeong Pass in Taebaek Gangwon Province, but the cold cannot keep away die-hard winter lovers who crowd one of the roughest and coldest spots in Korea.
White snow sculptures stand tall in the middle of a vast snow-covered field. Some people are busy taking pictures in front of these amazing sights. Others enter a huge igloo, while some others try to find their way through a snow maze. They're all here to enjoy the silvery wonderland. A long line of mountain climbers stretch along the snow-covered ridge. Some climbers have put up a plastic tarp to keep them warm from the winds while they have lunch. Enjoying a meal with friends on a snowy field makes the wintry vista even more beautiful. At this vast sheep farm, the hungry animals eagerly munch away at the hay that is handed out by the visitors. Rows of pollock are being dried out in the bone-chilling winter. The dried fish is almost ready to be sold at the market. Jungnyeong in Taebaek is brimming with feverish energy even in the middle of winter.
Being a vegetarian is not easy in a country like Korea, but most vegetarians seem pretty happy with their choice to go meat-free.
Places known as well-being restaurants, vegetable-focused eateries, are growing in number. They draw customers with a variety of cuisines. It looks like these customers are enjoying a sweet and sour pork cutlet, but in fact, this dish is made with beans.
이게 고기로 만든 게 아니라는 게 믿겨지지가 않고 그냥 일반 고기로 만든 것 같은데.
We went into the kitchen to see how it's made. The bean patty is coated and deep fried. It looks a lot like a pork cutlet, and it's just as nutritious. The shop also holds classes on how to cook beans. Mix gluten into the minced beans and knead the dough until it's chewy. As simple as that. Does it really taste like meat?
고기보다 더 부드럽고 씹히는 감이 좋아서 더 맛있는데요.
But we wonder if a purely vegetarian diet is healthy enough. These days, the problem is often excess nutrition. Steady consumption of veggies, including seasoned herbs and fermented paste, will ease your stomach and make you healthy. However, a vegetable diet is not for everyone.
채식이 과도하게 포함된 식단은 영양소 결핍이 일어날 가능성이 많습니다. 특히 단백질이나 오메가3 같은 필수 지방산, 철분, 칼슘 등의 미네랄 등이 부족할 수 있기 때문에 영양소 결핍이 일어나기 쉬운 성장기 청소년이나 임산부, 노인에서는 특히 주의해야 합니다.
So what's the secret to enjoying a healthy vegetarian diet? This woman, a vegetarian of 4 years, says her body went through a lot of changes since picking up the diet.
과거에 이렇게 부딪히지 않아도 쉽게 멍이 드는 병이 있었거든요. 채식 후 한 6개월 정도 지나니까 거짓말처럼 사라졌어요. 저는 채식 후에 오히려 더 지구력도 많이 늘고 체력이 많이 향상돼서
You can get the iron you need with 500 grams of green leaf veggies. At least 300 grams of seagrass will take care of your calcium needs. We're talking nothing fancy here, just greens you can easily find, such as spinach, shepherd's purse, laver, and seaweed.
현미밥을 3끼 식사를 할 경우에는 24g의 단백질을 섭취할 수가 있죠. 여기에 이제 반찬으로 콩이나 콩의 가공식품으로 반찬을 함께 섭취를 하면 하루에 필요한 단백질의 권장량을 충분히 섭취할 수가 있습니다. 비타민 B12 같은 경우는 해조류라든지 또는 카레 또는 곡류, 또 간장, 된장, 청국장과 같은 장류, 시리얼로 보충을 하면 채식을 하더라도 균형 잡힌 식사를 할 수가 있습니다.
She used to weigh around 60 kilos. With a steady vegetarian diet, she shed off 15 kilos. Eating small portions frequently has also helped with the weight loss. She's now packing some snacks to go.
저는 어디 나갈 때 항상 수시로 배고플 때마다 조금씩 간식을 먹거든요. 한 번에 폭식하는 거는 건강에 안 좋기 때문에 소식을 하되 조금씩 자주 먹는 습관이 있어요. 그래서 항상 어디 갈 때마다 간식을 챙겨요.
Vegetables are easy on the stomach. Take small steps in the beginning so you won't get tired or bored of it. Creating a green diet will take some effort.
Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Have a great day.